God says. Sometimes the most meaningful moments in life do not arrive with noise or force. They arrive quietly, almost gently, when the world slows down and the heart becomes still. If you are here right now, take this as a pause in your day, a moment set aside not by accident, but by timing that feels deeper than coincidence. This message is not meant to rush you, frighten you, or pressure you. It is meant to invite you into awareness. Tonight holds a symbolic turning point. Midnight is not just a time on the clock, it represents a shift, a crossing from what was into what can be. Many spiritual traditions see midnight as a moment of reset, when burdens can be released and new intentions quietly take root. What arrives at such moments is not always something you can touch with your hands. Often, it is clarity, peace, reassurance, or a renewed sense of hope entering your home and your heart. If life has felt heavy lately, if questions have been circling your mind without answers, or if you have been silently carrying worries for your family, your future, or your path, this moment asks you to breathe and soften. A miracle does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like calm after long tension, understanding after confusion, or strength returning where exhaustion once lived. Your house is more than walls and rooms. It is the energy you bring into it. It is the thoughts you carry when you sit quietly. It is the love, patience, and intention you hold for yourself and the people around you. When spiritual messages speak of a blessing entering a home, they often speak of harmony, protection, and emotional renewal settling into everyday life. As the night moves forward, allow yourself to be present rather than anxious. You do not need to chase what is meant for you. What aligns with your growth finds its way naturally. Trust does not require urgency, it requires openness. Faith does not demand fear, it grows in stillness and understanding. Let this message remind you that you are not unseen. That moments of change often begin inside before they appear outside. That peace itself can be a miracle when life has felt uncertain. Stay grounded, stay aware, and let the night pass with calm expectation rather than worry. Whatever unfolds next is part of a longer journey, one step at a time, guided not by pressure, but by patience, reflection, and inner clarity. When a message speaks about a miracle, the mind often tries to imagine something dramatic, something external, something that arrives suddenly and changes everything in one instant. But spiritual wisdom teaches something gentler and far more lasting. True miracles often begin quietly, in the unseen layers of thought, emotion, and intention, long before they take shape in the outer world. This is why awareness matters more than anticipation. Right now, this moment is asking you not to look outward for signs, but inward for understanding. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly allowed stillness into your life without distraction, without noise, without expectations? Stillness is not emptiness, it is a space where clarity gathers strength. Many people miss moments of transformation because they are busy waiting for proof instead of preparing their inner state to receive change. Your life has not been random. The challenges you faced, the delays you endured, and the moments when things did not make sense were not punishments. They were shaping phases. Each experience refined your patience, your empathy, and your resilience in ways you may not fully recognize yet. A miracle does not always erase the past, often it reframes it, helping you see meaning where you once saw struggle. Think about your home tonight not just as a physical place, but as a reflection of your inner world. The energy you carry into your space influences how peace or tension settles there. A sudden miracle can be as subtle as emotional relief entering your household, conversations becoming softer, misunderstandings easing, or a sense of safety returning where worry once lived. These shifts may seem small, but they change everything over time. Faith does not require certainty. It requires willingness. Willingness to trust even when outcomes are unclear. Willingness to let go of constant control. When you stop forcing answers and allow understanding to unfold naturally, clarity arrives without resistance. This is why spiritual growth often feels like release rather than achievement. As the night moves closer to midnight, let it symbolize closure rather than pressure. Closure of old fears, old doubts, and old narratives that told you that you were behind or lacking. You are not behind. You are becoming. Growth does not follow a fixed schedule, it follows readiness. And readiness is built through reflection, not urgency. If you have been carrying silent worries about money, relationships, health, or direction, acknowledge them without judgment. You do not need to suppress concern to be spiritual. Awareness includes honesty. What matters is that you do not allow those concerns to define your future. A miracle often begins when fear loosens its grip and trust quietly takes its place. Allow yourself to believe that peace is productive. That rest is not laziness. That clarity grows when the mind is not constantly reacting. Tonight is not asking you to expect something unrealistic. It is inviting you to become aligned with what brings balance, understanding, and grounded hope. And when alignment happens, change follows naturally. Not forced. Not rushed. But steady and real. At this stage of the message, it is important to slow down even more, because understanding deepens only when the mind is not rushing toward conclusions. Many people believe that change must always arrive with a visible sign or an instant result, but spiritual truth works differently. Transformation often happens quietly, reshaping your inner world first, and only later reflecting itself in your outer circumstances. You may not realize it yet, but the fact that you are still searching for meaning, still open to reflection, and still willing to pause shows that something within you has already shifted. Growth does not always announce itself. Sometimes it whispers through awareness, through a subtle feeling that you are no longer the same person you were before. That feeling is not imagination, it is progress. Think back to moments when you felt lost or uncertain, when answers did not come easily and patience felt heavy. Those moments were not empty. They taught you endurance. They taught you how to sit with discomfort without breaking. That strength is now part of you, even if you do not consciously acknowledge it every day. A miracle often builds on the strength you already carry, not on something suddenly added from outside. As the idea of a miracle entering your home is held in your thoughts, understand that a home is not defined only by walls or space. A home carries emotions, memories, and intentions. When peace enters a person, it slowly enters their surroundings as well. Conversations soften. Reactions slow down. Decisions become clearer. These changes do not demand attention, but they create stability that lasts. There is also an important truth many people overlook: awareness itself is a blessing. When you become aware of your thoughts, your patterns, and your emotional reactions, you gain the power to choose differently. Choice is one of the greatest gifts of consciousness. Without awareness, life feels like something that happens to you. With awareness, life becomes something you participate in with clarity. If you have been holding on to guilt, regret, or self-blame, now is the time to loosen that grip. Reflection does not mean punishment. Learning from the past does not require reliving it endlessly. Growth happens when you take wisdom forward, not when you carry weight that was never meant to stay with you forever. This moment is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to be present. Presence is enough. When you are present, you listen better, you respond rather than react, and you recognize opportunities instead of fearing outcomes. Presence allows calm to replace chaos, and understanding to replace confusion. As time moves forward, remember that miracles are not always dramatic interruptions. Sometimes they are gentle corrections, guiding you back to balance when you drift too far into worry or doubt. Sometimes they arrive as clarity about what truly matters, helping you release what no longer serves your peace. Allow yourself to trust the process without forcing expectations. Trust does not mean knowing what will happen next. It means believing that whatever unfolds can be met with awareness and strength. That belief alone changes how life responds to you. And slowly, without noise or pressure, alignment begins to settle in. When alignment settles, change follows naturally. As this message reaches its final stage, it is important to understand that what truly changes a life is not a single moment, but the awareness that follows it. When you slow down enough to truly listen, you begin to notice how much strength has already been built within you over time. Every challenge you faced, every moment you questioned your path, quietly shaped your inner foundation. That foundation is what allows blessings to settle and remain, rather than pass through unnoticed. Many people search for miracles while ignoring the preparation that happens inside them. Yet nothing meaningful arrives without readiness. Readiness does not mean knowing everything, it means being open, grounded, and calm enough to receive clarity without fear. You have reached a point where reflection feels more natural than reaction, and that is not accidental. It is the result of growth you may not have acknowledged until now. The idea of a miracle coming to your house does not always something sudden or loud. Often, it begins as a shift in perspective. You may find yourself responding with patience where you once reacted with frustration. You may notice that decisions feel lighter, as if they no longer carry unnecessary weight. These small internal shifts change the direction of your life more powerfully than any external event ever could. When calm enters your awareness, confusion slowly loses its grip. You start seeing situations as they are, not as fear paints them. You begin to trust your judgment again. Trusting yourself is one of the most underrated forms of spiritual alignment. When you trust yourself, you stop seeking constant validation, and peace naturally follows. There is also a deeper truth worth understanding: not everything that delays is a denial. Some things arrive later because you are meant to receive them with maturity, not urgency. Timing protects you as much as it blesses you. When you reflect on this, impatience slowly turns into understanding, and understanding turns into acceptance. Your journey has not been about rushing forward. It has been about learning when to pause. Pausing allows insight to surface. It allows emotions to settle. It allows wisdom to replace noise. In those quiet moments, answers become clearer, not because they were hidden, but because the mind was finally still enough to recognize them. As this message completes its purpose, remember that peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the ability to face life without losing your center. When you carry peace, circumstances no longer control you. You become steady even when life moves unpredictably. That steadiness attracts clarity, stability, and growth in ways that force never can. What you carry forward from this moment matters more than what you expect to happen next. Carry awareness. Carry patience. Carry trust in the process that has brought you here. When you do, you create space for positive change to remain, not just arrive. If you pause and reflect, stay with this calm energy for a few more moments. Take a deep breath, allow the words to settle, and continue listening with an open heart. Sometimes the next insight comes when you choose not to rush away.